Sports and exercise psychology is a study of psychological and mental factors that influence and are influenced by participation in sports, exercise, and physical activities, and the application of this knowledge is to everyday setting. Under the sports psychology and exercise psychology is the psychology, sports psychology, and the rules of sports psychologists. So let us first go in the knowledge under the psychology. Under the psychology is the specific goal of psychology, which is to describe. We are able to understand and acquire better perspective of what is deemed normal and abnormal behavior. Explain. They want to explicit what contributes to personality development, social behavior, and mental problems. Predict. Once we are able to describe and explain ways of human behavior and mental process, we use this information to predict the likelihood certain behavior in the future. Lastly is the change. This perhaps the most important goal of psychology, when it strives to change, influence, or control behavior to gain positive, beneficial, and useful changes in the life of the people. So let us now go into sports psychology. Sports psychology is the proficiency that uses psychological knowledge and skills to address optimal performance and well-being of athletes, developmental and social aspects of sports participation, assess systemic issues associated with sports, setting, and organization. Under this, sports psychology is the different types of orientation. So first is the behavioral orientation. This view is focused on both coach and athlete's behavior as the result from the environment. The influence of the environmental factors such as a reinforcement and punishment explains behavior. Psychophysiological orientation. This view is based on the psychological process of the brain and they influence on physical activity, more particularly the heart rate, brain waves activity, and the muscle action potentials. Lastly, under this type of orientation is the cognitive behavioral orientation. This view presents cognition and environment as determined factors of behavior. And lastly, the role of sports psychologists under this is research rule. Conducting research is a major function of the sports psychologist in order to advance the knowledge of the athletic field. This instrument is a diagnostic tool for the students athletes to identify the different stress symptoms and situations at the point in the time or another in the athletic environment. Next is the teaching rule. Sports psychologists teach undergraduate and graduate courses such as exercise psychology, applied sports psychology, and social psychology. Lastly, consulting rule. Clinical psychologists offer consultation with clients just like sports psychologists do consulting with individual athletes or athletic teams to improve psychological skills for enhancing competitive performance and training.